What is going on, everybody? It is Jamie Shaw here with the Absolute Basketball Experience. Today's episode, we are talking to South Carolina 2021 prospect Jacobi Wright of Legacy Early College. He has recently seen an uptick. The University of South Carolina offered him. He's been having Power 5 schools coming in, watching him, and all that kind of stuff. It's been great to see. So we caught up with him. He's been somebody who was on the radar since his 8th grade year when he played at York Prep and continued to grow, becoming All-State as a sophomore, now playing in the national schedule. Being Legacy Early College's leading scorer and everything last year. Very excited about what's to come for him. We talk about his path to get to where he's at, how he sees himself, and the future of what Jacobi Wright has to offer. But before we get into it, we have one ask of you. Please subscribe to this channel. Please also press the thumbs up button for this interview. And if you enjoy it, be sure to share it across your platforms. We would very much appreciate that. In the comments below, I want to hear from you, your favorite South Carolina basketball player. It could be of the past, of the present, all that kind of stuff. Please leave in the comments below the name of your favorite South Carolina basketball player. But without further ado, here is Legacy Early College rising senior Jacobi Wright on the Absolute Basketball Experience with Jamie Shaw. Thank you guys very much. What's up, everybody? It is Jamie Shaw here with the Absolute Basketball Experience. I am here with Legacy Early College 2021 prospect Jacobi Wright. Jacobi, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Man, I'm good. I'm trying to figure out this whole coronavirus thing. This quarantine thing sounded cool to start off with, and then about a week in, it's gotten kind of boring and tedious.
Yes, sir. Same here.
It gives you lots of time though to sit back and think, hang out with the family, kind of improve yourself and stuff. So that there's been a positive. But
yes, sir.
Starting off with everything, what is a little known fact about Jacobi Wright that I think these people would find interesting?
Jacobi's a family guy, spends a lot of time with his family, plays a lot of basketball, does some things other than basketball, like goes fishing with his grandparents or plays video games here and there.
Okay. Where you go fishing at?
Lake Wiley.
Okay. You pretty good at it? You catching lots of fish and scaling them and putting them on the grill, or what you doing?
I'm all right. I leave the scaling and grilling to my grandparents, but I just enjoy going to fish with them.
Okay, I got you. No, it's very relaxing and a good time. Who's your team on 2K?
I like to play the Celtics or John Morant.
John Morant, South
and the
Carolina,
Grizzlies.
man. I
Yes,
feel
sir.
you on that.
Yes, sir.
Jumping into everything, you started off at York Prep, a team
Yes,
that
sir.
was loaded with Division I talent. You got guys like DJ Burns, Vince Cole,
sir.
Deuce Dean, Rico, all that kind of stuff. What was that experience like for you as somebody who actually got playing time as an 8th grader with a team loaded with that type of talent?
Man, I think it really helped me get to where I am now, just being so young and playing with those guys who were kind of where I was trying to get to at the time. It really set me up to be where I am now, just competing with them every day. I think it really helped me.
And then you went to Fort Mill High School. You were All-State at Fort Mill. And then this past year, you made the decision to transfer over to Legacy Early College. What went into that decision for you?
Well, it was kind of similar to the York Prep situation, playing on a national schedule, also playing on like big time circuits. I think it was it prepared me for those circuits, just playing on a national schedule, competing with my teammates every day, because with my teammates being good, it makes you better every day when you get to compete against D1 prospects and people that play at a high level. And the coaching is just outstanding. I love my coaches. They push me every day, and they never let me slack off, not one bit. So I think it really helps me prepare for the next level.
And then looking back at that decision that you made, was it the right decision, and are you happy with it?
Yes, I definitely think it was the right decision. Looking back on it, I had a great year, and I feel like I progressed a lot.
So you averaged 17 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds a game this year, playing that national schedule. How would you describe your game and your style of play?
I would say all around or solid. I'm just kind of a guy to get the job done. I'm not too flashy, but every time I step on the court, I compete and just try to prove to the other team that I'm better than everybody on the court. And just definitely the biggest thing is getting the win for my team. Winning is definitely most important. And that's what I feel like my job is as the point guard, to help us win.
And what would you say your best attribute is as a player?
either my shooting, just from anywhere on the court, mid-range or threes, and leadership as a point guard. I think I'm a great leader. I feel like people love playing with alongside me, and I feel like I boost the level of my teammates.
Absolutely. And how do you see yourself fitting in? How do you see yourself playing at the next level? What type of player do you see yourself being, and role do you see yourself playing?
Um, that's hard to tell for me right now. I just plan on wherever I go, whatever the coach asks me to do that, and if I can help the team in that way, that's what I'm gonna be doing. However the team needs me, and that's just always the type of guy I've been. I never really plan on saying I plan on being a star or a role player. It's just whatever the coach needs me to be.
That's a great attitude. Um, in May of 2019, you got your first Division I offer.
Yes,
Elon
sir.
came in. What was that feeling like for you when you got the call on the offer?
Man, that first one, I actually got it on the visit, and it just felt great. Um, it kind of felt like a weight off of my shoulders just getting that first one, and after that, I just kept working. It kind of just shows you that your hard work really pays off.
Absolutely. And then since then, you've kind of become a hot commodity. I mean, schools, Charlotte, Winthrop, DePaul, Charlotte, South Carolina, they and others have all offered. What are your conversations like with these coaches now?
Um, a lot of the conversations are seeing where I fit with the program. They talked to me a lot about where I would fit in and where they would want me to be once I would get on campus and stuff. And just trying to get a feel for each other. Building relationships is a big part for a lot of the coaches and me, building relationships and seeing where I would fit the best.
Which school or schools would you say is recruiting you the hardest?
The hardest, I would say the top three that's recruiting me the hardest would be South Carolina, UNC Charlotte, and Winthrop, definitely.
And you said that they're talking to you about how you'll fit in and all that kind of stuff. What are Charlotte, Winthrop, and South Carolina? What type of roles are they looking to put you in, and how are they looking at playing you?
They definitely, a lot of them have a point guard spot opening up in that class or need that role filled. So they would need me to step in and play good minutes, however many that would be a leader. A lot of, especially South Carolina, they talk about being vocal. They need someone to come in and be vocal with a good personality that a lot of people get along with. They said it makes it easier for the coach to coach when you have somebody on the court being vocal. And same with Winter, they want me to come in and just be myself, play my game. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And Charlotte, they want me to come in and play hard as I do, play my game, run the team.
So, all three of those programs have an interesting storyline with you. You live near Charlotte. You played
Yes,
your
sir.
basketball at Fort Mill in Winthrop, and obviously you played your entire career in the state of South Carolina, and South Carolina is the state-supported school there. What was it like, the conversation when Pat Kelsey, Ron Sanchez, and Frank Martin? What were those conversations like when they actually called and offered you?
Um, Honestly, they were just good conversations, a real good vibe, I would say, to describe it. They all called and just told me how much they love me as a person and a player,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just tried to. They said some things about the school, but it was more a relationship between me and the coaches type of thing, and they offered it on the phone, and we just went from there.
And each of those three programs, let's just stay with those three for right now. What do you like about their programs? I mean, what are important pieces that you're finding out? The style of play, the location, all that stuff, the relationships. What are some good things about all three of those programs?
Well, definitely location-wise, they're all pretty close to home, so that's a bonus for my family being able to make it to the games. They love to come see me play, and that's just a big bonus that all of them are pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
All three. Play style-wise, all of them really let their players play their game and be free. Of course, in college, you need some type of structure to win. You're not just gonna go out there and play, but at the same time, they let their players play confident and play their own game, which I think really helps any player, honestly. And then other small stuff would just be like education wise, they all have my major that I'm looking for and something in business. They all have that, provide that for me. And that's big, definitely for me and my mom, just academically wise. they all have good brotherhoods. Like it's more than just a team with a lot of them, and that speaks definitely for all three. It's like a
Mhm.
brotherhood. It's not just like, oh, these are my teammates. Like these are my brothers. These coaches care for me more than just a player.
Um, and then this is a big year for you. Obviously, this summer was a big summer, in recruitment wise and everything. Naturally, we're having quarantine and COVID-19 and all this stuff going on. How are you handling the recruiting process still, even though that you're not able to get out on visits and do all this kind of stuff?
I think it's taking an adjustment for everyone, even the coaches. I feel like some coaches have to change their style. Like I talked to South Carolina, they don't usually recruit as much over the phone. They like to do stuff in person. So I mean, it's kind of different. Me being new to recruiting somewhat. I'm just taking it day by day, adjusting to it, talking to coaches on the phone, texting them. That's really all you can do, or a Zoom call like we're doing. I had a Zoom call with Winthrop, and it went well. Um, and I talked to a lot of coaches over the phone. So it's just that's how we're doing things right now.
And we've spoken about the schools who've offered. Who are some schools who have not offered yet, that are just now getting involved and building relationships with you?
South Florida starting to get involved. St. John's, I talked to their assistant on the phone. Vanderbilt, I've talked to them, and Bradley, they've been contacting me a lot.
And what are these conversations like? Obviously, they're just now getting involved, so they don't have the relationship and stuff with you. What are these conversations with these schools who haven't offered yet? How are they going?
It's kind of difficult because a lot of them haven't really seen me play, or haven't, if they have seen me, they didn't really know about me. So it's just kind of, we're learning more about each other, and not about basketball, just actually building a relationship and learning more things about me, not on the court. And I think that's kind of different. I feel like it's hard for coaches to kind of offer you, or it's kind of hard for them to do that without seeing you play.
Yeah.
And with this pandemic, that's kind of really a struggle for both sides. So all we can really do is talk about other things.
And then as you progress forward through this process, what will your decision come down to? I mean, locationally or style of play, coach, relationship, all that kind of stuff. What will go into your particular big factors into your decision?
Definitely all those things. Location, it's not as big for me. Home, South Carolina, North Carolina, that's pretty close. But if I had to go somewhere, just wherever fits me as a player, and because at the end of the day, if it fits how I play, if I'm comfortable being there, if I feel like the coaches care for me more than just being a basketball player, and I feel comfortable with my teammates, that's really what it comes down to, and then the academics as well. So all that goes into it. But if I have to go somewhere far away from home and I feel like that's best for me, that's what I do. And if I have to go somewhere, or if I choose to go somewhere where it's close to home, I'll do that.
You mentioned style of play and being a fit and all that kind of stuff. What style of play do you think you fit best with?
Somewhere that just plays team basketball, plays fast. I like playing fast. I feel like up-tempo team is what I'm used to playing on.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who gets the ball up and down the court, doesn't really, I don't want to say doesn't walk it up the court, but when I have the opportunity, get out into the break, kick it up. And I feel like I'm pretty good at, once I get the ball, kicking it up to my teammates, getting the fast break going. And just somewhere where I can be coached hard and not just kind of push over, just a coach that really gets on me when I make mistakes, because that's how you become a better basketball player.
And who all is involved with you in this decision-making process?
The biggest people would be my family, definitely my mom and dad. They've been with me all my life, so I feel like they're a big key in my process. I definitely talk to my high school coaches a lot as well, just for advice. Coach BJ and Coach Jeff Merritt, I ask them for a lot of advice often when it comes to recruiting.
Absolutely. They've both been involved in a lot of big time, so it's good. Looking forward to next year, which is going to be your senior season, Legacy Early College. What are your goals, both personally and as a team?
Personally, I just want to have the best season, go out with a bang, have my best season yet in high school. And our team, I think all of our goal collectively is to make the Geico tournament. That's just a big focus, and that's definitely difficult. That's not easy at all, but we feel like we'll have a good team. We work hard enough. We feel like we really gonna have a chance next year. So that's one of our team goals.
So you've you've been on varsity since 8th grade. You've played on great York Prep teams. You were all state at Fort Mill. This legacy team, I have no doubt that y'all are going to have a shot at being one of the top 25, 50 teams in the country next year. Not to have a play on words, but what do you feel your personal legacy is going to be as a guard within the state of South Carolina?
I mean, I feel like from top to bottom, I started early. I feel like a lot of people don't play varsity in 8th grade, and I feel like I actually played pretty good minutes to be an 8th grader on a national schedule. So starting there, and then went to Fort Mill, had a great year, made All-State. Our team made it to the playoffs. Then this past year, I went to Legacy, played on a national schedule again, and had a pretty good year.
You had a great year.
Great year. So as long as this next year goes as planned, I feel like my legacy will be really high.
Yeah,
really
I don't feel like people really realize how much you have done and how much you've accomplished in your career so far, and you still have another year left to go.
Most definitely.
So I guess wrapping this thing up real quick, I like to do a little rapid fire, 3 real quick questions.
Okay.
Just give your first thing that comes to your mind. During this time of quarantine, using a lot of text messages and stuff, what's your most used emoji?
Most used emoji? Probably the prayer emoji. Just keep positive, a prayer emoji or a laughing emoji.
Popcorn or M&Ms?
Popcorn.
You can only keep 3 apps on your phone. Which 3 are they?
Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter.
There you go. Great stuff, man. I appreciate you coming on, Jacobi. I got to tell you, man, been knowing you since like 7th grade. It's been awesome to see what you're becoming, both as a person and as a player. And
I appreciate that.
All the success that you're having is deserved. So
thank you.
Take it all in. Anything else that you want to leave these people with? Anything that they can look forward to with you, or anything that they need to check out?
Nothing much. I just want to tell everybody to stay safe during these times. Everybody's going to get through it, and we should be back to normal in no time.
Absolutely. Jacobi, thanks for sharing some time with us. For Jamie Shaw and Jacobi Wright, we are the Absolute Basketball Experience. Thank you guys very much for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
And there you have it. A great talk there with Legacy Early College Rising Senior Jacobi Wright. Very excited about his future. He's earned everything that he's gotten to this point, and I feel like there's a whole lot more to come. And I think he does too, with his work ethic and all that stuff. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. We very much appreciate that. Remember to put in the comments your favorite South Carolina player, past, present, whatever the case, favorite South Carolina player in the comments. And until next time, please make sure you keep tuning in. I am Jamie Shaw with the Absolute Basketball Experience.